Infestation is not a spell.
It might be a homebrew one. Hey,
It's not.
everybody. This is Grimcad. We are here with some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are playing through the Tomb of Annihilation. I am Grimcad. I am a player in this one. I played Riade the Bee Druid. We're joined by Greg again, who's currently missing. He's going to be joining in a little bit later. And we are picking up 2 new faces to join the campaign again. From, it seems like all the games that I've played so far, we're picking up M again. Say hi, M.
Like I said, I am this channel at this point. You know? I'm the only reason anyone watches. Everyone loves me. Thank you, loyal fans.
And we,
I will be hijacking this channel.
And we are also joined by the Spoony Croy. Say hi, Spoony.
Hello, I'm Spoony, and I've played D&D 2nd edition, haven't done that recently, and have no knowledge of 5th edition. And this will be definitely a fun experience. Let's see how this goes.
Should be good. 5th edition is pretty easy to pick up. And before
I prefer 3.
hand things over to 420, that spell's probably not listed in there, because I think it's a Xanathar spell. Only the base 6
It
spells
is. Yeah. I saw it. Noticed it.
And so, last without least, our DM, 420 or Gypsy.
Yo.
Let me DM.
I'm also a player in one of the other campaigns, but yes, I'm DM for this campaign, Tomb of Annihilation.
You almost died.
Yeah, I almost got punched to death, but that's another universe.
Oh wait, I seen that. That was actually funny.
There's a real knee slapper when he's like, "Look at this man dying over here."
To be fair, I was still laughing at the throwing sword equals non-lethal stuff.
But I think unless we want quick character introductions or people want to introduce the character,
I don't have a character to introduce yet.
Yeah, we can leave that for a little bit on then. I'll just do the usual recap that we usually do.
Hit me with it.
Both for the people watching and
Grim, please. This man's trying to talk and you're typing. So
new
loud.
players. Oh, it's okay. We get used to Grim.
I'm sorry.
I
apologize.
I don't.
in the background.
I do not get used to it.
But last session we were just kind of a bit more chilled out and kind of wrapping up the last of a Goblin War kind of story arc we'd been exploring. We have somewhat convinced the goblins to head towards Nyanzaru and set up their new village off those ways and possibly try and start up some form of trade or some village. We might hear from the goblins again in the future or not. Who knows yet?
I am convinced nothing bad will happen to them.
No, never. Nothing bad ever happens in Chult. We actually, after a good, what must have been at least 7 or 8 sessions of wondering how we could find or make a control amulet for the Shield Guardian, had someone in the party have the bright idea of maybe casting, was it Locate Magic?
Detect Magic, yeah.
Detect Magic, yeah. And lo and behold, there'd been a magic item, an amulet around the Queen's neck the entire time, which just so happened to be this Shield Guardian's control core, or its control medallion thing. So that was quite a long-standing revelation that the party could have actually found out a long time ago. I hinted towards it during one of the first ever feasts they had with the goblins, but no one seemed to ever remember and put the 2 of them together.
Yeah, you know. These things happen.
Yeah. So we will pick up, I guess, one evening, any time before you guys wish to, as a party, decide to leave the village, or if you were trying to stay too long, the goblins would probably spend a couple of days and then start packing up and leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is more of a decision on you, really.
Yeah,
since the other two are.
like I said last time, like I would have been fine, traveling with them some of the ways, like back up to the north, and then back down. But I guess nobody else can really put their input in. So
So no, if that's what you want to do, you can do that by all means.
yeah.
Well, in that case, you would spend next probably it'd only take even a day with the help of your party, with the twins as well. Everyone working together with what remains of the goblin village. You manage to get everything packed away. They leave the great contraption in the trees with the big spring trap across the floor set there, but they pack all the tents off of it. And they load up basically just big carrying backpacks. I don't know how to explain them. Just stick frames basically that hold everything. They don't have, or they don't use the extra materials from the canvassing and what few tents they have and everything to make extra backpacks or to pack it all together and everything. They kind of just lump it onto these stick kind of imagine, I don't know what you guys call them over in America, trolley jacks or something, maybe. The
If you
making
asked me what a
fridges.
trolley jack was, I could not, tell you my life depended
No,
on
I'm
it.
not.
Yeah.
But something like a howdah almost,
Like-
where it's just
Like
Yeah.
a comically big stick backpack.
Yeah, basically. It's just a frame that they stack everything onto. Like one goblin can basically carry an entire tent and a couple of extra belongings and everything in one frame. So they managed to pack everything up, and with your help, everything takes at most a day. So unless you wanted to make a point of setting out in the middle of the night, you can take a long rest.
Mm-hmm. I would be happy to.
Yes. I'll make sure the twins don't need to. You'll have one last night of what is as close to a feast as can be considered at this point. I mean, the rain's started to let up the past couple of days, but it's still very heavy and thick and kind of just drenches everything to the bone. And with all the tents packed up, everyone's kind of just shading under the trees and the root systems as you usually would. You wake the next morning and start out on your merry way, I suppose.
Mhm.
Now everyone else gets to learn the joy of the player map.
Boy, I can't wait to see a player map. We never get to see a player map in the Toria, not Toria, what's it called? The Seas of Bodaria.
Yeah, this one.
It's
I
not
mean,
as
Are you
bad.
still loading the tiles? It's not as bad, but are you still loading the
I
tiles?
do like, I kinda like how they like load it separately or something. It's interesting.
It's because everything under all that is unexplored.
Interesting. I like it though.
All right.
So we're up to the north, I believe.
Yes, they are heading to the north of.
I mean, I'm not there, but
You are not currently, no. But you will be off in that direction somewhere, most likely. Hopefully, maybe. But for now, we will take a survival roll with advantage from Grim.
Okay.
what does Grim do to get advantage? Is he just
He's
amazing?
traveling with a bunch of goblins that know the area very well. So you don't get lost and can. Are you able to control the party tile?
Yeah.
Yeah, well then you can move the space you want to.
Sure.
And the day passes really quietly, actually. The goblins are excited of the future prospects. A few seem to have not quite abandoned ship. A couple of the other goblins you hear talk through Damokos, seeing as he can actually converse with them. And at this point, honestly, the Queen is probably the only one that speaks fluent Common. So you often find Damokos translating for you between the goblins, and you hear that a few weren't too happy with the idea of moving so far away up north and to as close to, the larger humanoid races as these ones are planning. They decided to make their ways off into the separate sort of mini camps you heard of and saw the groups come of during the war times, and keep those villages running and replenish their numbers after the losses of the war. But you've still got a good dozen and a half goblins trailing along with you. So you get quite a bit of chattering along the way, so the mood's quite light and happy despite the rain. You make camp for the night and give me 2 perception checks, because I assume you'd do some form of watch at some point.
Welcome back.
Oh my god. Okay, I just want to say, because this is terrible luck, or I suppose good luck for you guys, but makes the journey boring. But I hide the encounter rolls. I've just gotten 2 1s in a row. So the night passes quietly yet again. You wake up, and again it's kind of business in a convoy, as you'd expect. Everything's kind of to a routine, or quickly becomes one over the next day or 2. You wake up, you have some breakfast, you pack up the little cover people might lay out, and then you continue on your way. So give us the advantage survival check.
Do you want to go ahead and make that, Greg?
Oh yes, since Greg is back. If he's back, yes he is. So we'll just take the 22 because it's the advantage from the first one. So you guys can move again.
Okay. I think we should move up at least somewhere right here before we, say farewell at the very least. So.
Watch as I crit you guys in combat and wipe out 2 of you in 1 move.
Well,
because the day passes quietly yet again. But at this point, the rain's almost just a drizzle. It's still definitely there and very persistent, but when you're under the canopy of the trees, for the past, month, usually, the rain would still even penetrate through the tree canopies. But now it's a lot drier in parts. It's obviously not coming down as heavy and isn't bucketing down. It's still very heavy. You'd assume above the canopies. You can tell this by great almost waterfalls created in the channels of the trees. But we shall continue to the next night. So give us a perception check each since you're back. Okay, I'm turning this off because the night passes quietly again. It's 1134 for encounter checks. So we will go to the next morning survival check.
Okay.
By the way, Emerald and Spoonie, I hope you guys like a lot of survival checks and perception checks and traveling.
Don't worry, I am not trained in survival or perception. I don't even think. No, wait. I think I have perception trained. Don't worry. No, I don't. I have terrible survival and perception.
In 5e,
Well, you
you
don't
can
get
make
roll.
the roll regardless if you're trained or
Yeah.
not. But
Well, I know, but I have terrible nonetheless.
yeah.
Ditto.
Also, Greg, that was meant to be a perception, not a persuasion before. I mean, it didn't matter, but you rolled the wrong thing.
I persuade the ghosts not to attack.
Hey, Spoonie, just as a heads up, sorry to interrupt your beautiful road trip, but if you go to your character sheet, Spoonie, and you like find survival and perception and all that, you can drag them sort of like down and add them to your macro bar. That way you don't have to constantly pull your sheet up every time
Handy.
we're asked to do it. But that's it. You guys can continue.
Well, the day continues as the past few have, until about lunchtime, when you at first hear a loud rumbling and the sounds of very loud snapping and cracking, almost like trees being snapped in half. And you and your convoy of short companions stop for a second to take a listen, and then you start feeling the earth rumble. And as you do, you watch a short little fellow come running through the jungle ahead of you. There's a
I start running, and I say as I run by, "Run like mouse from cat, swiftly do not be a meal, this one will not be." And I run opposite of the big smashing.
What?
yes, and just give a short description of what you look like and everything like that as well, so the party have seen what have just run past.
Gotcha. I am a shortest fellow who is robed and wearing a mask. I have a bag full of random stuff hanging off, and I'm just sort of running. Not much of a description, I'm aware. Not much.
Well, I guess, like, the thing to do is, pass without trace, and then start moving away from the crashing.
Yep, and so you and your companions, how many does that cover, though?
It covers any amount within 30 feet of me.
Oh yeah, so you'd be able to pull everything into that area easy enough. Oh, and you start running, and at some point you might catch up to this very, very fast halfling, or at some point you might look behind you, and you would see what you've heard of, or at least what you think you've heard of as being possibly heard of, depending how well adventured you are. I'm trying to see if there's a handout for it. Yes, there is.
Mm-hmm.
Although this one looks a bit strange. It appears to be running backwards, and its mouth is split back, pushing its head and its eye stalks backwards, so it's watching as it runs. And out of its mouth is a large maw of tentacles. And you can see various scars and cuts over its body, exuding some kind of almost smoke-looking substance that again kind of forms off into tendril-looking particles.
I continue running.
Some might say he runs with a renewed vigor.
So, wisdom saving throw from everyone?
Oh, you're in luck. It's just going to
With
have me
disadvantage.
run. Oh,
With
disadvantage? Oh.
Yes, because it is already dashing.
Ooh.
Well, that's a nat 1 then.
Goodbye, Grim.
So, I mean, you already had it in your idea to run as fast as possible, but you also feel some really dark, cold feeling of fear piercing into you, and you are frightened as well.
I am frightened. We should continue running as fast as we can.
I'm not going to make saving throws for 18 odd different goblins. I will quickly make one for each. I mean, the end goal is the same. Everyone seems to be running. Neither of the twins are about to turn and fight this thing. But for future purposes.
Oh.
I'm assuming they're not good.
It's 2 nat 1s.
I mean, if they fail, it seems like they run anyway, so...
Nezu, you would have already experienced it whatsoever. In your backstory, what I told you, it was basically that frightenedness that made you pick yourself up and everything like that. It was the utter fear of not wanting that ending. But everyone runs. It's a mad dash. You can hear the chittering scream of a number of the goblins that get caught and picked up quite easily. It manages to distract the creature long enough that you manage to put at least a couple of 100 yards distance between each of you. And as you're running, you come into a clearing where you can see old ruins. Where are you? There? No, I need to do this. So if you want to, yeah, this is just down here. Put yourselves around here, somewhere around the fountain or something.
Mm-hmm. If you could do me one favor, I would appreciate it. Since there's already lines on the map you're using, could you make the lines of the actual grid a different color, like black or blue or something like that? You can do that up in the Maps tab.
Yep. They do not line up.
Yeah,
though.
that's fine. But that way we can know which ones are the ones.
Sorry, I'm just seeing this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Cyan is a good color.
That's what
Like
I use when my maps don't line up. Is a cyan or blue.
How does one spawn a token?
If you pull your name over, just click, drag, and then drop it over.
Did that work? That did not work.
It did not work.
So click my name, drag it, and place it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. From the stuff to the right, where it says under players. Yeah.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Boop. There we go. That makes sense. Ooh.
I will be back in just a minute. Let me go get some more drink.
That's fine. We will pick it up from Owen's perspective, who would have only recently arrived to these ruins. I will send you another message shortly. I'm just trying to sort out this grid color. No, that's a background, okay. Grid, there we go. There we go. That's nice.
Yeah, that looks real good.
And the same
That looks
effect
fine.
would happen with you, Alan. You would first hear a great rumbling, cracking. And then possibly some screaming and a guttural, almost roaring sound. And then the sound of a few humanoids running out. Sorry. Just giving her some information so she can do with it what she wishes.
A big combo.
I'm back.
Oh, you lot would have burst into these ruins area. Ellen is doing what she's doing.
Where should I put myself?
Well, do you want to be immediately pronounced to the party, or do you want to be like hiding in your where I've told you are?
What would you prefer? Well, because obviously at some point I will come out. So like, would it now be an appropriate time?
Yeah, I mean, you can just like peek your head out of this doorway here, and call.
I pronounce there to be a doorway right here.
That also works, yes.
Unless you like, well, I mean, it's not really a door. I assume this is like a dilapidated wall or something.
Well, I'll just take that back.
Whoa, you can remove the roof?
Yeah, I
I
set
love
it
it.
as a separate tile, but it
Look at
also
that.
doesn't line up perfectly. But yeah,
It's wonderful. I love
That's
it.
good enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a nice roof here, as it finds out. So I'll drop my missile token right there. But anyways, y'all just come more or less crashing through. Are there goblins around? Just out of curiosity.
at this point, no.
That they've like kept bolting,
Yeah,
or they've all been eaten, or they've scrambled to the sides.
one of the twins would have been with you guys. The other one split off in another direction. So
Gosh, not the twins. I barely knew him.
F or R.
All right.
But yeah.
No, let him order, because she doesn't know the two of them.
Yes, of course. Well, I'll miss the twins. They will, or what?
No, you have to
one twin we
choose
did
one of the
with-
twins, F or R.
Oh, I get to pick one.
Mhm.
Oh, hit me. I'm gonna roll a coin.
Roll a coin.
So even will be R. F will be odds. I don't even know what F is gonna be evens.
Alright.
F is the one we lost.
Alright.
So R. I don't know who that is.
River Mist has managed to keep up with you guys and join you guys in this.
Oh, poor Mr. R. I knew him so little.
F.
Poor F. Really poor F. He is not having a
Really
good
poor
time.
F.
But yeah, so I'll do my whole introduction at this point. So I
Yeah.
mean, you all would have come crashing in. I assume, is this in the middle of them stopping? Are they running?
This thing isn't on the map yet. It's just sitting there for if you
Okay.
guys spend too much time out here. But it is coming, and if you spent more than a few seconds, it would quickly come into view.
Okay, so I would probably see it running down
Yeah,
the tracks as well.
yeah.
So I'm going to see. Well, for one, let me describe. So you'll see. Well, you maybe wouldn't see them since you guys are just sort of running in a straight line through what is just a bunch of dilapidated ruins right now. But in the corner, sort of sitting half in the buildings, my legs just sort of maybe hanging out on the staircase of what little bit there is. But there's a woman there. Maybe not necessarily you could tell a woman. She's wearing more of a cloak and whatnot, sort of covering majority of her body. Sitting here, basically just almost idly waiting and just sort of watching some, the bugs, the trees, the stuff around her, until the ground starts shaking. I sort of look over and see all these people running over to me. Upon standing, maybe you would see a bit more of her face at this point. Nothing fancy. She is most certainly human. You would notice, she has brown, sort of long hair that's braided up and tied back and all that. Stay mostly out of the way. But regardless, you would maybe notice her or not notice her frightened. I don't quite know how much that gives you in the sense of not seeing things. But I'd certainly be like, hey, oh gosh, I don't even know what I'd say. Group of people things? You might want to come in here or something. And then I would motion that, hey, you should come in this house.
Yeah, and at this point, most of my reasoning is gone, and I'm just running in abject terror. So, somebody says, come this way. I'm going that way.
Yeah, and River would do the same.
This man makes fair points.
And so would Demikos, though he's not there.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone would cram and file in, and if you were too fast or too clumsy, you might find yourself falling a couple of feet to the stairs.
I feel like we definitely would fall a few feet because he's just probably not expecting the drop. I don't warn you about the drop either.
Well, no, it's a full spiral staircase that follows the way down, but you probably wouldn't be expecting to run into
the stairs. You might trip and then fall your face right here.
But nothing major would happen, and
you wouldn't die.
Hear the creature outside, and you would see the looming darkness below you. I doubt.
Once I see that creature, I'm not gonna really double check that everyone's here following. Once Riyadh and maybe the second person come in, I'm immediately gonna start following down as well.
Yeah. So you guys press down into the darkness, leaving the roaring and rumbling above you. You can hear it crashing around outside for quite a while, almost like it's looking for you. And you continue all down, further and further into the darkness. It's almost an unfathomably long amount of time. You would have time to talk if you guys wish. If anyone wishes to do in-character RP or anything like that.
How far down are the staircases? Also, does anyone light a torch? Because I specifically do not light a torch.
Yeah, it's pitch black down there, so someone would need torch or night vision.
Yeah, I cast light.
I mean, it seems to just continue on, almost to no end, but at the same time, the noises above you, after fading for a little while, don't fade anymore until they go silent completely.
Could I take out a copper coin and drop it down the hole? I assume there's an opening through the middle of it?
Yep. And you would hear it not even a full second or two later clatter on the ground.
What was that thing? And I would be very specifically talking to, the little guy.
Terra Incarnate?
What did you do to it?
exist.
I think you picked a bad day for that, friend. Oh.
Unfortunately, that be the case.
Does anyone know where we are?
Hey, DM, would I know where we are right now?
No. You have just
No,
stumbled.
well, I mean, that's all I need to know. If I don't know where exactly we are, then that's good enough. So, yeah.
As far as anyone can tell, you're some amount into the earth in the darkness.
Well, I would keep walking until we inevitably hit solid ground, which would be a few seconds.
Yep.
Sure. So once we, hit ground, I assume, we walk down here, we don't get eaten alive by what is that thing? The grue, or what is it? The gur?
The frog.
Anyone know what I'm talking about? No, I was making a reference to the old text game where they're like, oh, if you don't light a light, you're gonna get eaten by the grue or the gur. You know what I'm talking about?
The dark stairs
No.
was just a chance for you guys to inter-party RP. It could have gone down as long as possible. You guys spent 3 hours talking. It could have been a 3-hour-long staircase, but
We
as
had
it was,
dinner there.
it was probably only 50, 60 feet underground at most.
So once we hit the ground, I would sort of look who is here. But mostly stay a little extra longer at Riyadh. And I assume, what exactly does he look like?
He's sort of a middle-aged man. He's mostly, nondescript. He doesn't have a ton of crazy features, except for what I'm about to describe, ironically. But, black hair starting to turn gray. He's got a bit of a beard. He's been really out in, the jungle for quite some time, so he certainly isn't the most well-kept person. The unusual thing is that he has a backpack that's obviously some sort of custom construction that has a swarm of bees surrounding it, and every so often, well, they mostly stay in the backpack, a couple will fly out and around and before returning in.
So, Grim, you have light spell on?
I do.
Which is 20 feet of
20 feet of bright and then 20 of dim.
Yes. So that is. Can you guys see the light source cast by him?
I do not.
No clue. Oh, in the top? No,
Yeah,
I don't.
you
I don't
need
know
to
where we are.
Drag to the top left, top right.
I do see myself, but I don't see the light casted by. I'm
Um,
assuming Graham.
You click on your token and then click on the cog,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to dynamic lighting and then vision on, and then you can also set your
Like
night
the
vision.
cog. That changed it. Okay, I think there was just a delay for me.
Yes.
Am I beautiful?
And
Beautiful.
if you have night vision, remember to set your night vision too.
Where would I set night vision? Are you saying the cog? Because I don't see anything in the cog for
That's
night vision.
something you control. We can't control that.
Yeah, you go to dynamic lighting and then night vision.
We don't
toggle
don't
I
have a
don't see
dynamic lighting setting. That's all set by the DM.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so what was your night vision again? I assume you'd
here.
be using your item as well.
I'm not using my item, if that's what you mean, unless you're talking to Spoonie.
Spoonie.
Guess I'll be using my item.
So
I believe it's to 60 feet. 60?
60. So you should have 60 feet.
Yep.
And then yeah, everyone should be set now. Jake, are you?
Yep.
Yes. So you find yourself in a dark area, quite honestly. It's plain stone walls carved out of the earth. Those of you who might be able to see down the hallway down here would be able to see a bridge spanning what looks like some form of chasm, and then a doorway at the end. If you
I
can't
see.
that,
But before we do continue on, I didn't get to ask who Grimm's friend is, and I would vote to specifically whoever this character would be, because I don't know who they are.
Jake is Greg's character, which is the one you pinged. This one is Fraser's character, and then this is one of the twins.
Well, the twins. What is he though? Like, what does he look like? And all that.
If you're there, Greg, and want to do it, or else I will.
Sorry, yeah, this is just having hooked up to this.
All goods. I'll explain it then. He is just a human cleric, I believe.
Good enough then. Human cleric.
Yeah, human cleric. He's human and he's cleric-y. I can't remember if he... Yes, he is currently wearing his heavy armor, so he's also...
Heavy armor. Quite
And then-
jangly man.
You would see also a tiefling, very, very much wizardy looking type, magic usery type, not many muscles on him at all. And then
A noodly boy.
yeah, a noodle boy. And then you would see quite a tough looking tabaxi with an eye patch over her right eye,
Okay.
holding a bow quite confidently with a, I believe, she...
And then I wouldn't see the halfling because he's so short.
Yeah, basically.
See?
You know, she
Well,
doesn't
now that we're
make
down
sense.
here, maybe I would like, really awkwardly, sort of like offer a hand or something to Riyadh, like, nice to see you, or how, like some awkward greeting. Like I wouldn't really know what to say.
It
but we're all
sounds
just
pretty
sort of here
awkward
now.
already. It's okay.
Like, if the panic was gone, you know, I'd still sort of heavy breathing, you know, take her hand and thank you. You really helped us out of a bind right there. I mean, you saw that thing, right? It was clearly chasing this one right here. And I'd sort of point at, you know, the halfling. I could barely see the building. I mean, did you see the size of that thing? And the head, the tentacles? It was completely unnatural.
Why? I probably won't be paying too much attention to what you're saying. Nothing, obviously, personal, but in character.
I'm Riyadh, by the way. This
Oh, we
is-
don't have like
River
I
Mist,
can't see my character.
Damikos, and Jake. And who are you two?
And then I would be like, two? I would sort of look around.
Two? The little one? I mean, he's literally within 5 feet of you.
I would turn around and sort of like look down, like, oh, is he not with you?
Well, only out of circumstance, really. I mean, we were heading to the north when he was running from that thing, and, well, all of a sudden we were running from that thing.
Oh, I mean, you seem to know him better than I do at this point, then.
I be Nezu of the Order of the Setting Moon, as I try to look for my coin that I dropped earlier.
And you would find it would be, you know, roundabout where you would have imagined it would have been if you just flicked it out at your
Noted.
point in the stairs.
As I pick it up, coins do not grow from trees, hard works and deeds don't fill pouches. Don't fill.
Well, I certainly would say that hard work would fill a pouch.
Not in my line of work.
Oh, well, fair enough.
I'm gonna give a really weird look. Not quite understand what he's saying, but sure. And then I'll be like, then I'll turn back to Riode. Like, my name is Ellen. It's good to meet you down here. We should probably move forward. We don't know if that thing is still looking for us.
Yes, but where is here?
Guess is as good as mine.
So this isn't something you've explored?
No, does this look like the type of place I just hang out on a normal basis? I hope I don't look that grim.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, if I would have known, I would have thought to look for traps on the way down for the staircases.
Well, don't worry. There's a reason I wasn't going first, but maybe we should set forth at this point. And maybe like, can I roll like perception or something to just see if I do see anything around us that's not inherently already seen?
Yeah, if you want. Roll initiative first. We'll go off of that.
Interesting. Oh God, where do I roll initiative from? Like I did my character
Just
sheet.
remember to select your token before.
Oh, my initiative's 2. It's so good. See, this one works.
Oh, wait, yeah. That's what I was doing.
See, Ben, why does your game not have working initiative trackers?
It does. I just you had a problem with
I
it. I
roll
don't know what that was.
I gotta roll like 17 times.
Ugh.
That is everyone. So yes.
Well, I mean, as is sort of per usual, I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
It is usually a good idea.
Also make that perception roll as well to see if I just see any general things you don't want to step on down here. Like maybe someone with like a rusty rake around the place.
I will actually take River off because she would decide to sit on the stairs or at least part way up to keep an ear out and hopefully keep an eye on her out for her brother if he runs past or something at some point after it leaves.
Mm-hmm.
That's just to easily wipe her out of the way for now.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you so little.
And I'm tempted to do it with Damocos too, but at the same time I won't. You guys might need him.
Well, you know.
First things first, what is, I don't know if technically everyone can see it, but there's something to our south. What would that be?
It's a little rat.
That's past where I can see.
That's what I figured. That's why I brought it up. A little rat. Is it doing anything? Is it just like, watching? Is it just like
It would just be walking around and probably not watching you guys like, untowardly, but it would be wary that something's moving around near it. So you'd probably watch it skitter, stop for a second.
Can I give a quick once-over and see if it looks healthy or diseased or anything like that?
Yeah.
I mean, without touching it, obviously.
Go nature or medicine, whichever's your choice.
Probably one of the only druids who doesn't have speak with animals prepared.
I think just turned red.
It looks healthy.
Okay.
Looks fine. It looks possibly a bit scared.
Sure. I understand.
I mean, it has, Damocos kind of looming over it a little bit.
God, he's gonna eat the rat.
Don't eat the rat.
But it looked healthy. He can't help it.
But Damocos would probably go to about here and then do the first good old check that he's really bad at, apparently. But still rolled well on, and he would announce after a few seconds that at least this part of the corridor seems clear of anything that might harm you guys.
So anything that might harm. That's what I like to hear.
I.e., he can't find any traps.
Right.
No one's died yet going down this hallway. Well, sure. I mean, Riyadh is currently in the lead, so sort of make a motion for him to step on forward, or one of the two.
We'll go.
And shall we get moving? Unless you would like to go back up the stairs.
Well, I just wanted to prepare. I don't know if you've had much experience doing this ruins thing, but there's usually creatures here that have a tendency to want to eat you.
There can't be anything worse down here than up there, so.
Well, certainly not worse, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't take some precautions.
Ignorance makes for a weak shield. Ignorant.
That's deep.
Okay, yep.
But alas,
Onward.
if Grim does step forward, I do step forward.
Well, I mean, I'll step forward on my initiative, but we're moving to initiative right now.
We'll say that
Oh, I see. We're moving initiative order. Who's up then?
it is Nezu, unless Alan did actually want to go back to her turn. But if she's actually, motioning for someone to go forward and wants someone to go forward first, then she can just hold her turn.
I guess I can walk past the tiefling. And they're normal size, right?
Yeah, you can move through friendly, absolutely fine.
You're small, which means you still take up a tile regardless.
You just can't stop on their token.
Rooted.
No, he's talking about how halflings are able to move through hostiles.
Are they?
Yeah.
Interesting. Toss.
But they have to be one size larger than them, I think. Because again, they're small; they can just run through their legs and everything.
But that means they can move through everything except other small units. Considering you can already move through tiny units, can you not?
Yeah, I suppose you would be able to. I don't know actually how tiny humans would work in that scenario. Well, if that's right.
Roll
You can't
to
get
be
by
trampled
me.
on.
So we see your bridge up ahead?
Yes, those of you that would be able to see it can see that bridge up ahead, and it looks like it's spanning quite a deep chasm. You can't see any kind of bottom from the angle you're at.
Can we check how stable it is?
Good man.
You'd probably have
That's how
to
you
get
walk on it.
You'd probably have to get a little bit closer, like the end of the hallway, to get a good estimate to be able to actually look at an angle where you'd be able to see how deep the concrete or the stone is and everything. But the surface looks well constructed as far as you can see.
Looks well constructed. I need to hear nothing more.
But if that's Nezu, we will go to Jake's turn.
Okay. So my vision is to about the.
Your vision is based off of Grimm's light, unless you want to light a
Alright,
torch or lantern yourself.
that's perfect. Alright, just checking. So I'm just gonna move. Probably about there. Have we got any rope? Do we still have the rope on us?
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, that's good.
I do not have
I mean,
rope.
if you say that out loud, and I hear old Rio over here go, I would be like, I have a rope if you guys aren't prepared for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, by the way, Jake and Riod especially look woefully unprepared for the jungle somehow, and yet they're as deep as they are. Damakos, He's still carrying around a full backpack and everything, but the other two, there's a lot of space left in their backpacks.
Most of our
See.
supplies were with our donkey, Chonky, who probably didn't make it from that thing.
No. I was about to ask why there's like some character named Chonky in here.
It's our donkey. It's Chonky.
I don't.
A chunky. Okay.
Hey, the donkey throughout the
It was
turn.
thick with flies. Was.
Well, yeah, if you asked specifically to like how, like, do you want to hold the rope? Like, would you ask to see it, or are you just asking if we have one?
Yeah, I was just asking if we have one.
Well, then I would say I have one if we need it. But otherwise, unless you specifically ask for it, I wouldn't hand it to you. Should that be important?
There's some sort of bridge up ahead here. I can't see how far it spans. It could be miles.
I'll just point out, like, it's not very long. Like, maybe a slight chuckle.
I can't see that far, but
For miles.
but yeah, how does the bridge look? That's what that perception is for.
It looks solid. You're pretty sure a pack dinosaur could cross it. It's nice, thick chunk, solid cut slabs forming an arch across this great chasm. You can't see the bottom of the chasm at all.
It could be miles down.
It could be miles down.
Well, I won't dispute that one.
Right, so again, as we're moving, I mean, I think it is important to point out that I can't see as far as what sounds like most of you can see, so, if something happens and you start to get in trouble, make sure to shout. I'd like to hope you can take care of yourselves if you're out here in the wilderness of Chult, right?
And, little did Grim know where all this God. He's alone now.
Feet be light. My feet.
Hello?
They didn't just pop into existence. But are you not dashing or anything like that to go across if you wanted? I mean, you can tell the architecture of the bridge like at a glance.
No, I would rather
it's not
not
an action.
dash. It would probably make too much noise.
That's fine. Damokos's turn. He will 10, 20. Yeah, just follow up with you. Bring us to Ellen's turn.
I would walk just forward, which is right behind old Ryuk.
Could be
Maybe I'll walk like right here, just like, and sort of not like shove my face into the bee backpack.
Just to switch it up. Nezu.
Are we actually doing proper turns or just
Proper turn, yeah. You're on the proper turn.
because I was going to ask because I believe pulling out an item is a full action and movement, right?
It would
No.
probably be a
No, not
free
not-
action.
Yeah, 5e. A lot of really encumbering rules like that from second edition have been like way gone.
Yeah. So you can like swap. You get like a free action, which is something minor like stowing and drawing another weapon or pulling a potion out or something like that. I think actually using the item is an action.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pull something out. Like if you wanted to pull a torch out, you could. You would have to probably spend the turn lighting it.
Mm-hmm.
And giving someone a thing, is that a free action or a full action?
I'd call that a free action if both parties are, willing and able to, i.e. not carrying two things in their hands and everything.
Okay then. So I will head here, give the human the end of one of my ropes. Well, give end of the rope on my backpack that's already tied there, and then walk past him if he's willing to take it.
Nope. Goodbye.
To me or to Jake?
He said the human.
Yep,
That's easy.
human.
Pretty sure we're both
Eh.
humans.
I
At
think-
this range,
Right.
Nezu, do you want
Yeah, but he walked
give
up to
me-
you.
What's it?
Do you want to give me a perception check, Nezu?
section. Gotcha. Finding it.
You can see over here through your goggles some form of shape hanging on the roof and walls. You can't quite make out what they are, as it almost just looks like probably fist-sized lumps on the wall and roof. Probably anywhere between 4 and 8 of them.
We might not be alone.
It actually broke, but
What is it? Something on the bridge? Could be miles away,
believe
don't
he's-
worry.
Wouldn't want to fight on a bridge miles long. But you said on the ceiling, correct?
And walls, yes.
Walls. The walls up ahead have bumps on them. Unusual.
Are they moving?
Not as far as he would be able to tell.
Nothing seems to be moving.
Well, I'm not wild about going onto a bridge with no railing in nothing other than a rope. We could take the rope, we could tie it down with some pittons, and somebody could go out and take a look, but I certainly am not wild about getting ambushed. We could go around, we could go forward. Can anybody actually see these things?
Only the people with night vision that can see the end of where that ping is. And actually, no, only him, because he's that. Oh,
well, he's closer to see the bumpy things.
Now I wonder if I actually taken up my action, because I could try throwing a dart in that general direction to see if anything gets agitated.
I'm about to watch this halfling just throw something at a wall.
do it. Do it.
Okay.
Just make a, we'll just say, ranged attack if you're trying to throw it at one of the lumps.
Yes.
That. Why did that happen? That is not good.
You just died.
Yep, that would not hit.
That would
But-
not hit? Mm-hmm.
No, but as the dart clatters, you'd watch as they would start moving, and they would drop from the floors, from the walls and roof, and then you'd hear a loud mosquito-like as you watch them start flying in the air. And now I can do this. Some of those.
Oh god, I'm a little alongside.
So now for the fun part of rolling initiative for them.
Also, on their moving now.
They're doing a bit more than moving, and I'm gonna. Well, I technically can't step a true step back, but I would sort of take a maybe half step back, so to speak. Stealth is optional this mission.
Yeah, well, those of you that can see them at this point, you'd see varying size shapes of them. The largest probably about your fist size, and the smallest probably half that. But did you have any other actions you wanted to take? I think you've got your bonus left.
Don't think I would have anything for my bonus at the moment.
Well then, we will go to Jake.
Alright.
Jake, save us. We're all about to die.
Nah, don't leave that responsibility onto me. Yep. I'll move here. I'll move up to here. Yeah, I'm my turn here.
Bring us back to the top of the turn order. Where 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You would watch as the large flying tarantula hurtles across the chasm towards you all. And then it will... Ah! What? Okay, hold up a second. Sorry. Apparently it didn't save the attacks that I wrote in for it. So that sucks.
It will pause for a moment and be like, oh, time out.
No, I did this like last night.
It flies up to you and says, "Roll for initiative."
Yeah, basically. So it is
That's not
going
land.
to
Ooh.
use that against Nezu.
Does the little wasp tarantula land in front of me?
No, it is still flying, but it tries to take a bite at Nezu.
God,
which
it
does a
hits
15 hit.
hard.
Okay, and Constitution saving roll?
It does hit hard.
Does it hit first of
Right.
all? Does 15 meet or exceed your AC?
15. No, it does not.
Oh, that's good then. But yeah, hold up. I clicked the wrong spider.
He's got the wrong spider, everybody.
Is that a man?
Right, scooter up, bro.
Is that a spider flying across this mile-long bridge?
Why did it not just save my attacks for it?
Normally it saves every time. So you might have to hit enter for him.
Yeah.
But unless
Well, no, because even the sheet, like when I opened it just then, was a lot different to usually how it is. It was like I was still actually setting it up.
try
Here we go.
refreshing or closing it.
No, it's no, I don't think it.
Yeah.
Like I've saved it and refreshed it and everything. Yeah, it's just not going to work. They will just share this attack. But it is this one's turn, who will also do the same, but this time with a balanced attack for a flying spider.
Balance.
That's a lot weaker than the other one.
So they have like different types of bites.
Yes, poisons and everything like that. Which
I'll be like,
11,
careful, the young ones are always the dangerous ones.
11 definitely does not hit Jake. It's this one's turn. $30. And a 1 definitely does not hit. Riod's turn.
Alright, we're gonna summon some bees or some wasps.
Summon some more flying creatures.
Exactly. We're gonna cast at level 3.
Conjure spirit wasp. Let's play you spirit of a wasp. Is it actually a wasp or is it a spirit bee?
It is actually a wasp.
And it's not spirit.
It's now no
anymore.
longer even a spirit. It's now like a Feywild wasp.
Yeah. So as
There's two of
opposed to
There's 3.
yes.
And they're multiplying so fast.
So yes, Jake, you would not have seen this development before, but
Oh my gosh.
It definitely seems like Riot's bees are getting stronger because when you've seen them in the past, they almost looked, kind of like
Alien.
solid mist. They were there, but they weren't. But now they've certainly popped into existence. They get a turn this round, I believe.
It's got its own turn and it rolls initiative. Like, I don't mind skipping the turn until next turn. I did roll initiative for him.
Yeah, it's all good. They're all after you anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
Is that your turn, though?
That's it.
Democos's
I'll
turn.
summon the bees.
Oh god. Now I've got to...
I need nothing more of my life.
Fireball.
Do it.
No balls.
I cast fireball on myself.
Centered on me. I'll be back. I'm gonna get some water.
I'm gonna...
Okay. I'll be a couple minutes.
I am initiating self-destruct.
While Grim's away, I'll see if he messages back.
Get something to drink. Because I was gonna get something to drink
I'm
too.
in no particular rush. DC 15 save.
I'm asking him if Democos would use a fireball in this situation.
You know what? Focus. As long as it's just hitting the bees.
Oh yeah, like Grim's bees might get affected, but he would center it between the two groups of spiders so he can hit.
What is the radius of fireball?
It's like 40 feet or something.
I thought it's 40 feet. I thought it was like 20. Oh, gosh.
It's like a 20-foot diameter. Sorry, 20-foot radius.
Radius? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Is that 150 feet to cast? To cast? Yeah.
You can actually, if you hit it right
Yeah.
in the middle, you can
Yeah,
still hit
exactly.
all of them.
So that's what he would do, but
It's a pretty good value.
it is. And he likely will do that.
Make sure to take any opportunity to beat up Grim. Make Grim feel bad. It's gonna be a lot of rolls.
No, it's not.
Don't you have to roll dexterity to see if you take half?
I would, but even half damage kills these.
Ah.
Based off that 29.
That's much damage it was?
Yeah.
I mean,
What is
fireball
that?
is pretty devastating. Fireball.
How many rolls does Fireball do?
4d6 or 4d8, I think. I can't quite remember. Give me a sec. My cost. 8d6.
Oh my god, that's a lot of.
Can you roll 3 1s, or you rolled 3 1s with that?
Yeah.
Well, we also rolled 2 crits, though, to be fair.
Yeah, 2 crits, 3
And then 2
2
5s,
fives,
and
and
a
a
4.
4.
That's a
So
pretty
that's
good roll.
It's pretty good roll.
It's above average, yeah, I believe.
Yes. Well, no, Democos would do that because, I mean, who's not scared of flying spiders? Especially ones the size of your fist.
Yeah. Or even half your fist.
Yes. But actually, no, we'll wait for Grim.
We'll bear the bad news to Grim that everything he knows and loves is about to die.
Not everything.
All but one of his bees is about to die. How much HP do these bees have? If it's not that fast.
Again, I will just pull up a sheet. Oh no, the wasp.
I mean, if that's something I wouldn't know, though, then. But just curious.
2d8 plus 2.
Okay, so not a lot.
No, not a ton.
Which I guess makes sense since there are 3 of them.
Yeah. They're just kind of disposable chaff to take a hit or two. Clog up the initiative order.
They're there to waste everybody's time. Shame there's not even going to be a bee for me to cast a fireball on after this.
Well, no, because the bodies leave corpses behind as well. That's why they're not spirits anymore. They're actual summons.
I mean, I can cast fireball on the dead bodies. Don't actually have fireball. There was the fiend patron did actually give you fireball, and I'm like, that would be pretty good on.
Fireball's good when you get it, but then it comes very lackluster at late levels because
I'm back.
so much else.
Graham, we got some bad news.
Oh,
Well, only for you. It's good news for the rest of
no.
us.
Only for...
Give me 2 dexterity saving throws
Sure.
for your bee. These two
I'm
bees.
pretty sure even with half damage, they would both die.
Top bottom.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure with half damage from 29, they still both die.
Oh, well...
It would be,
don't I
14.
roll something for their HP, too? I don't think I wrote that down.
Did you not write
You would
that
need
down?
to you would need to
write
roll
that
like
down, unfortunately.
2 8s for there to be any chance of them basically not dying. I guess maybe not. You could roll like 6 and a 6, and then your whatever modifier added would be enough.
Oh God, we talk about so much D&D. I can't.
I think it might have been 2d8. I'm not sure.
2d8 plus something. We just looked it up.
Oh, so yeah, you did
Yeah.
already mark it on.
Did I?
Because yeah, wasn't it 2d6 to begin with?
No, 2d8 is what their normal HP is.
Then it would have been 2d10 probably. I would have just bumped it up another dice.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Yeah,
Well, up to the next dice.
either way, then, yeah.
But yeah, they might be able to survive it then.
Well, the one that didn't roll.
Well, I mean, they're monsters, so they just take the average. So, I mean, that adds, 2 HP to them.
So half 29, 14. So yeah, no, they would both get wiped out too. But the fireball that encapsulates, most of the Bridgens just thankfully stops short of the faces of the companions. Wipes all the spiders you can see out, but then further down over this way, once more you hear the eeing. I'm not going to do it for as long as I did before. And those of you who could see it can see that as the loud explosion from the fireball rips around.
Oh gosh, it's like just bouncing off every wall.
Yeah.
Oh, another 3 more? 4 more?
5 more.
6?
6 more.
6 more. Yeah.
They just keep coming.
Perhaps we should back down this corridor.
It's the worst that can happen.
Or just stop being so noisy. No, to be fair, that's all the ones in the area. But
Better be.
Can't make a dash to the door. Can't.
it is now Ellen's turn.
I cannot make a dash to the door. I mean, technically I could, but it seems like how you trip and fall down a chasm, and well, there goes my adventuring career. These are walls.
Like I said, the bridge is fully stable and everything. You're not about to go falling off it or anything
No,
like that.
I'm going to Is 5 foot shift 5 foot shift's movement action, correct? I mean, not that it really
Yeah.
matters, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna 5 foot shift, and I don't believe I really have any real AoE. I don't have any I don't have fireball or anything. Mage. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, they're just a bunch of little buds. I just cast Eldritch Blast on it. On let's hit the leading one.
Yep.
And I gotta pull this up, but I think Eldritch Blast's flat damage, isn't it? Maybe not.
No.
I'm pretty sure Invocation's
Is it
playing
full?
to it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm actually gonna have mine properly set up to add the Constitution damage, but add 4 to whatever that is.
You probably
Well, does it hit first of all? Does it hit?
do 2 blasts at your level
Yes,
as
it
well.
Oh, we do 2. Oh yeah, all right, then I'll
Invocation
hit
blast.
this one over here as well. So the first one was for the closer one,
Hits.
and the second one, nice. They're not very good about the second one. That was not good.
So roll the damage.
Did the second one hit or just the
No,
first?
second one missed.
Eldritch Blast. There we go. Okay. Only take the first roll. I didn't mean to roll twice. I don't. But
And then
if you need to add extra damage on it, it will take an extra 4. But Sling tells me he's probably dying.
So that one, you watch as it falls into the abyss.
Speaking of which, did all the corpses get burnt up by the fireball? There's just charred ashes left, basically.
Oh, sorry, habit from just deleting them. But yes, there are 2 just really charred, mangled bee corpses on this tile here.
I see.
And then it is this one's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And Nezu's turn.
Gotcha. I will get close to this, and we can attack diagonals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will use my spear on the flying tarantula monster, because that abomination shouldn't live.
That is fine. That is definitely a hit.
And damage.
You rolled it again. You click the... So it did 13 damage. You click the name
With the spear.
under the rolls. Yeah.
First
Where it
attack.
says
In the chat
Yeah,
bar.
in the chat bar, yeah.
Uh...
But it rolled 13 anyway, so... Well, either way, 13, 12.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Either way kills it.
Okay, perfect, because I was going to use a bonus action if it did die.
Did you throw the spear?
No, that's just melee attack. That's just a...
Oh, was there one next to us? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Yes.
Fair enough. I thought you were
Anyway.
melee put over the chasm or something.
It had only just gone there.
It's fine. I was trying to see if I could make a macro to roll more than one of these Eldritch Blasts at once, but I don't believe that's a thing.
No,
No, you just click it twice.
Yeah.
Don't be so lazy.
I mean, that's literally the point of macros, to be lazy.
Yeah, Greg?
Yep.
Yes, it is your turn.
So, did any of those wasp tarantulas land on the bridge?
They haven't landed as in to walk or anything like that.
Just gonna hear.
because we can't see anything because you're going off of my light spell, right?
Yeah.
The best thing may be to ready an action to hit something that comes close.
Yeah, you can say I'll wait and attack, use my action to attack something that moves
Hold up.
into my area.
Oh, yeah, so I'll end my turn there. I'll just save my attack and my action.
Oh, Wasp Boy's turn?
Which will come over under here. And it'll come here and hold its action to attack.
nice.
This looks more, I gotta be honest, Grin, it looks more like a cicada than a wasp.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a bee more than anything, but
Against your B, which is a miss.
it's a miss.
Against
And it'll hit back.
Jake. Yep, well, okay then, in that case. What was it? A strength 7 throw?
Yeah.
Which it fails. which,
I've been stabbed. Who would do such a thing?
course,
It rolled a 0.
to be killed because of 10 poison damage anyway, so it didn't even matter.
No, that was your attack.
Oh,
Mine doesn't do poison. It did 8 damage.
8, yes, so sorry. Fuck.
I mean, it does get knocked prone,
Yes.
right? It does.
Yes, I'm doing that. There we go.
From poison?
Yeah. Because it's just a reskin wolf, basically.
So 20 hits
I like
you then. Greg?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got everyone coming into the room today.
It's all good. So 3 damage and DC 11 Constitution save.
DC 11.
Yes. Constitution. So 13 damage.
Oh, 1.
Nice. That's a mean roll, eh?
Oh god, they do so much poison damage too.
Did you say 13 damage?
Yes. That is worded really weird though. So we'll just take the damage and not worry about the paralyzed effects. Because I think that's only if it actually knocks you out.
Mhm.
But it is.
Yeah, if you have 0 hit points.
Alright, we're gonna Shillelagh. And then we're gonna attack the one that is still up.
It had a 20. It rolled for a 20 on its attack. What?
Oh, and Jake actually gets an attack against it too. Wasn't he readying an action?
Oh, yes. Yes, he would have. So make your attack before taking that damage, Greg.
Okay.
So that's a hit. So
Oh,
Wow. Wow. The
big
blanket
hit.
looks smaller
You just-
part of its head.
you just don't do damage with that morning.
No, I
Star, eh?
don't.
Are you like holding like the wrong way? Like maybe you're like grabbing onto the actual like head
The
and you're like
hitting
whacking
part,
it with
yeah.
the trap?
Do you not have
He's
any
holding the holy
strength
symbol in.
proficiencies to add to it? Or strength modifiers?
He can turn undead pretty well, but
Rough. I see.
he's not a hitty boy.
Yep.
But
Are the
that
tarantulas
spider is still up. Was there anything else you wanted to do, Grum?
Nope, that's it.
Then Damakos will take his advantage smack and miss entirely. Bring us to Lighter's turn. And it will make an attack against Uriel,
Well, that's a miss.
which at 11 misses.
Which one was this? A new one, I see.
And that misses you, Greg. And Alan's turn.
Hello, I am here, and since I didn't suddenly learn a new spell since the start of my last turn, so I think I will once again cast Eldritch Blast, and I probably should put this on my hotbar so I don't have to open my character sheet every time I cast it.
Fucking warlocks and their eldritch blast.
Can I get a Eldritch Blast? Oh, I'm gonna hit the the one that's not knocked down. This one and this one.
Yep. That's 2 hits.
Boom and boom. And
And
they're
2
probably
death.
both dead.
God.
As their bodies tumble into the abyss. Nezu's turn.
Get to this one. I guess. Wait, attack of opportunity. Still a thing in this?
Yes,
Or
but
You
you
can
need
5
to
foot
move.
shift.
Yeah, you need to move more than 5 feet. So you can move to right next to it. Absolutely fine.
Okay. Because I'm not sure if that was a thing or not.
Well, you can still
And I should
attack
ask.
diagonally, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hit it with a spear again. One trick pony.
Definitely a solid trick, though. So does.
Making fun of me only casting Eldritch Blast over here.
Yeah, Jake's turn.
Actually, was that a kill or no?
No, not a kill.
I also have a bonus action as a monk. I can also do an unarmed strike after attack, I believe. But
Sounds about right.
If it's a bonus action, there's technically no reason not to do it, but I guess. Yeah.
yes, when you use an attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon, which my spear is, on your turn you can make 1 unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Do it. Slap that bee. Or tarantula.
Punch
You
that
should
bee.
also have multi-attack too, shouldn't you, as a monk?
I do have an extra attack. Yeah, I forgot to get that at 5th level.
Yeah. So
Whoops.
you get 3 attacks per turn if you're using your bonus action to attack as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I probably should use the spear first, though.
Well, the spear counts for that. Your extra attack is with your melee weapon. So you
Yeah.
make 2 melee weapon attacks and then use your bonus action for a 3rd.
Punch that wasp.
That hit,
Tarantula thing.
and that kills it.
Do these things have like oh, I was gonna say bat wings because they were like black dots, but I think that's just because tarantulas are pretty round by default.
Yeah. No, these would be almost like
Like bee wings.
very large bee or mosquito wings. Yeah. Bring us Jake's turn.
I want to team it.
Okay.
Go hit your ones, bro.
Yo, God, don't shoot them without fail. So I'm gonna move here. Yeah. Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. What size are the bees? Are they tiny? Spear
Small, I
bees.
believe.
They're medium, actually.
Oh,
Oh.
medium even. Wow, so they're like dog-sized bees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're
So
just...
Greg, you can't share
Yeah.
tile. So you'd have to either hold your turn till after its turn, or
Is it the bees? Is it that bees
it's
next
It
to it?
is.
the bee's turn.
Oh,
next.
Daddy bee on the rotation.
So it'll probably attack and then
Yeah, I'll hold
move
one.
out.
Yeah.
So put you back where you were, go to the bee.
Which, again,
It
will
can make
attack.
its attack.
And then shift out.
That's a miss. Yep. And then we'll go to Jake's turn.
That sting not hit.
No.
With an 11.
AC 12.
Yep,
Thank
well,
you,
let's
little-
breeze past everyone. And strike out again with Morningstar. I think found the star.
That's a hit.
Yeah, it is a hit. Damage. Oh, it's better than a 1.
Yeah, and that'd actually be enough to kill it. So you'd kind of splat it against the ground. As it
Wish.
is now Riot's turn as we continue on.
Nice. We did it. We won.
How big were those things?
Size of your fist.
Yeah, like I said, the largest would have been about the size of your fist, while the smallest would have been half
Oh,
of that.
so they were teensy tiny.
I mean,
Well,
you seriously saying a fist-sized flying tarantula is just teensy tiny?
it's the size of a tarantula, I guess.
A little bigger. Well, I mean, I guess you're not really wrong if you really think about it.
Oh, I would probably
Um,
call out, are there any more before I start moving on?
And you yell it really loud so you attract them all to you.
Not really loud.
Uh,
But I would. Was that the last of them?
I believe so.
All right.
And they're like, he's gonna go walk over and step on 20 more now.
Let's scope out the door and area for traps.
And then after you walk away, I'll say, well, at least that I'm aware of.
You see a heavy stone door in front of you. It has quite ornate carvings set into the stone. Nothing in particular, just pretty looking shapes and almost floral designs and everything like that. As far as you can tell, the doors look heavy, but you can't see any form of locking mechanism or barring mechanism on them.
Okay.
Demokos will just follow suit. 10, 20, 30. Alan's turn.
Hello. Well, I mean, I walk across the bridge 30 feet, which would be right to here. And then that's it. I've done all I need to do in life.
Nezu.
Quick
Well, actually,
question.
since I have an action, really quick, sorry to
That's
Go
all.
for it. Go.
but do I notice anything in particular to the south outside just what I see? Like anything stand out? I can roll perception if you need.
I mean, if you wanted to spend your action using.
Well, I have an
Yeah.
action that I'm not using,
Yeah.
so
You could.
just anything particularly noteworthy. If all I see is the
Yeah.
chasm. And all that.
What you see is what you see, basically.
Okay.
You can see what looks like two floating, probably 6 inches each across, down here,
Mm-hmm.
and they just seem to be suspended in midair across there, with a probably just over 10 feet but under 15-foot gap between them, and another again 5-foot gap either side of them.
Interesting. Yeah.
But it is now Nezu's turn.
Gotcha. So I am going to ask, because I was looking through the guide or player's handbook, and it doesn't really describe much, but I have an alchemist kit. What would that entail?
Like basic mortar and pestle, maybe a traveling journeyman's electric or something like that. The basic tools you would need to do alchemical, I guess, processes and everything, to brew potions and everything like that. I think Riod would really love you at the moment, actually. I doubt he has his.
So, quick question. Would that have a beaker of any sort or something to contain things?
It would have some sort of beaker, but possibly not.
Something you can seal. Nothing you can...
Yeah, not that you could seal. Vials and stuff like that you tend to need to buy separately.
Gotcha. Okay, then I guess I'll just walk forward. Actually, are there any of the spiders around?
Nope. As far as you can see, the fireball pretty well decimated this entire area. There's a thin layer of what looks like soot, covering basically the entire area.
So is this wall sort of full of soot as well?
Yeah. If you're thinking about how it looks like there's a bricks or something there like that, there's nothing there. That's just wall. It's all solid flush walls. It's just the map tiles make it look like stuff.
Gotcha. Would it be possible for me to put an inscription from that set?
Yeah, but if you've got something...
I just put this onto the wall?
Yep. It's fine. And as you're doing that, it will be Jake's turn.
Okay. Just gonna take my movement. 1, 2, and hold my action and then my turn.
And boss turn, which I assume would just move over.
Yep. We'll keep him towards the back.
I wasn't sure if you could see that far.
I
It's your
think I
turn.
could click in the darkness. Well, I mean, I move forward and I try the door.
Yep, I just need to go to this, and I can delete that. And the doors swing open easy enough into what looks like some form of small study or office sort of room. Contrary to what the map might look like, it doesn't seem to be a library. There aren't tombs or anything. In fact, each of these bookshelf looking things is a bench. And there is the hearth here as well with a unlit fire. Does not look like it has been set or lit in years.
Bold of you to think I could see that far.
I'm meaning to
I
the people who
understand.
can see.
There's some
Yeah,
sort of
sorry,
office
I'm
or study over here.
So, if you want to give me like the super quick abridged version, what's this Bali thing? And obviously, there's like a forge in the back.
No one. The forge in the back, as you said, was a fireplace. The things on the
Okay.
sides that you may not be able to see.
I can't actually see that. What's this Bali thing? And maybe a bookshelf.
No one has explored the Bally thing, which is
Okay.
a circle inscribed on the ground, and then the bookshelf things are
Yeah.
benches.
Okay. Oh, it's a bench. Interesting.
Yeah, like it for sitting on.
What is this newfangled bench they speak of? It's not my turn, is it? No.
No, it's Riot's.
Well, if it's still my turn, we're going to do a quick once over for traps.
Mm-hmm.
You're standing on one.
And you find nothing.
Okay.
It seems to be safe.
I don't think there's any traps.
And of course, it would follow into the room, and it would be Ellen's turn.
I too would walk into the room 30 feet, which is exactly next to Riyadh. Shall clog the doorway. I'll note that there's, books. There's an actual bookshelf over here, and I think an actual bookshelf over here as well. Are these also benches?
No, those are the benches that I was talking about.
So they're all benches. Even this
Yes.
is a bench, and
Yep.
these okay.
There's
They're
a
quite-
stack of wood over here next to the fireplace. Yeah, and then
Well,
the
since I
circle.
don't have this thing in the middle, what do I need to roll anything to look at it or study it or get
I
an
mean,
idea of
how
what's
are
going
you
on?
studying it? What do you want to do with it?
I want to look at it and be like, what is this?
You would need to be right next to it, so you'd have to move to the next.
I'm not close enough?
Not for an in-depth thing. I mean, as far as you can tell from, the distance you're at and everything, without actually giving it a proper skillful check over and everything, it looks like circles on the ground in chalk with some form of runes or glyphs inscribed.
And there's
on
not like a crystal ball thing in the middle, or there is
No,
the
that's
crystal ball thing?
that's just detailing. It would probably have some form of detailing in the center.
Okay, I see. So it's flat though.
Yes, it is flat.
Okay. So then yeah, that's it.
And then Nezu's turn.
Okay, I finish the inscription, I bow my head, and then I look for my dart that I initiated the fight with.
Give me a odds or even roll. So say odds or even.
Odd.
So you find it.
Woo.
And you'd have your movement left after picking that up.
And I will just move right by the doorway. The open doorway now.
And Jake's
I
turn.
phase into the door itself.
I'm just. No, I'm not.
You just trudging along
I
behind.
am. I'm just gonna clunk my way into the room, alerting everyone in the vicinity of our presence.
And the wasp's turn, unless he wishes to dash or something.
No, I don't.
Well, I could have dashed.
And then Riot.
So far the only thing I can see is this thing. So let's give it an Arcana check. We're gonna go ahead and guidance before that.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Whoa.
You know what?
Bonuses.
I mean, layman could have probably guessed that it was a teleporting circle.
Mhm.
You confirmed that it is indeed, in fact, a teleporting circle. And incidentally, the end circle to it, the pair to it, does not seem that far away. The runes you managed to, although you're no wizard, you managed to gain a couple of glyphs. It seems a very almost natural nature magic is infused into the circle as well, which helps keep a consistency during short-term travel. So you're able to glean that, yeah, the other half of the ring probably isn't too far away.
So this is some sort of teleportation circle. It doesn't lead far, but I think on the bright side that it's stable. So if we decide to step in it, we shouldn't end up in the abyss.
Ah,
Shouldn't.
I mean, looking around.
Other end of the circle is over the chasm that leads to the abyss. That'd be great. But no.
Or it's a terrible trap.
It is
Wow.
Abacos's turn, and after hearing that, he would confidently, because that is how he plays his character, stride up and step into the circle.
Well, wait, no!
That's right.
Why?
Disappearing out of view. Bring us to Alan's turn. But it's 3 o'clock. We've got 1 hour to go before we finish, so we will take a quick 5-minute break.
Okay.
Because I need a drink and a quick cigarette. And no doubt other people need a drink too. Usually just to the other two. Usually we'll stop about till 2:30, but I was enjoying the spiders.
It's fine. It's fine.
So I will be back very, very shortly.
Which is anywhere from 10:30 on for us.
Yes.
I don't know what
so
that is for you, Spoon.
Is it 10:30 at night at the moment?
7:30ish, by the way. So.
I'm gonna go get some more drink too. I'll be back.
I'll probably do that.
Good idea.
I exist.
Graham, I can't hear you, but because the butt's in the basket.
Oh.
Get the lie. No, but let me know when we're starting. Like, message me or something, because I'm walking away from the computer.
Okay.
Bye. No.
She'll be missed.
Get the lines.
God damn it, I spilt my Mountain Dew.
Oh no.
I didn't spill it, I just knocked it over. It's still in the bottle, but still fizzy and stuff. I don't have any.
Also, Mountain Dew.
Is it? Oh shit, it's good.
Oh, it's like pure sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Can't die of diabetes otherwise.
it's just so sickeningly sweet.
It is when you have a lot of it.
Yeah. Do you guys
But
have like the pure cane sugar Mountain Dew? Did you guys get that?
No.
We get that sometimes where we are, where it's, you know, it's like the old throwback Mountain Dew or whatever, where it's made with cane sugar rather than, you know, high fructose corn syrup. It's good.
Don't see those around. Don't be.
You haven't had that either? Huh.
Sounds horrific.
No, it's good.
Cane sugar's not bad. Cane sugar.
Well, it's not.
Who is
but,
here?
I think it's just the three of us.
Ah.
You there, bro?
Yeah.
I got to shoot off. Emma's just gotten back with the kids in the shopping.
Ah, all good.
So yeah, if you fellas are still around in the next 45 minutes, I'll join back up. But yeah, if not,
We'll probably just be packing up then, if anything.
yeah,
So we'll catch you next week.
yeah, I'll watch the rest on the video.
Yeah, man.
Ciao.
Good catching you again.
Yeah, likewise.
we missed you.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Sure.
I sometimes forget, but then remember that you Americans don't say chur, so it probably sounds so weird to you guys.
Yeah.
I know.
Sure.
I know. I'm pretty sure you have had the conversation with us before about it. Graham.
Mm-hmm. It's just a strange one to me. Chur.
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 It just works so well for everything. It's just like positive affirmation. That's all it is. It can be hi, it can be bye, it can be thank you, it can be yes please.
Just chur. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a word like that I use in my vocabulary, but like off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's I guess it, like, aside from the fact that it's not actually part of any language, it is literally just a colloquial term. it's almost like Hawaii with its aloha
Yeah.
and stuff. Like it's just it has so many various uses, and none of them are incorrect.
It's like
fuck.
the F word.
Yeah, fuck is another great one.
Nothing worse than having a wet knee. Don't you just hate it?
Wet knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My knee's wet.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, so is that
That's us then, yeah.
Yep.
everyone back? Sweet. Well, we shall pick up with Alan's turn.
We lost our other good friend though.
I really wanted to search the room, but I suppose we should go after him. And no one hears any screamings, though.
Well, I mean, we don't know how far away that went. He could be screaming, or maybe it was a painless death.
It could be so close it's 6 feet down from the circle. Just teleports you into the stone.
We could send the wasp first.
Well, I mean, whatever terrible things
shit.
happen on the other side of that
I
thing.
don't think so, actually. Oh, yeah, you do. You communicate telepathically.
Oh, that is fully an idea you can do then. If people want to hold their turn till after the wasp, we can just skip straight through it to it.
I don't know, because I kind of want to walk over. I'm gonna walk over and investigate the forge really quick while waiting for the wasp.
Yeah, like if people want to do something in the room now, this is when we can step out of initiative for a second, and everyone can do whatever they're doing for the moment.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll just quickly check the thing, because this is the only thing of interest. This forge.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it looks like a fireplace that you'd find in a home, quite well-off home, but all the same a house. You put fire in it, light a log, and you can get heat, maybe chuck a cauldron or something on for some cooking.
Interesting.
The bee would step in, and then down here
Dies. It just explodes.
No, I do not see anything from the bee, so you'll have to sort of describe.
Yep.
Oh, now I see from the bee. Yeah.
Yes, and you would see, and I assume hear as well, Demikos talking with a young human with heavy robes. He kind of shrinks back into the robes, hiding his face. And he's discussing, I mean, the bee doesn't really understand, so you can only glean like the odd occasional syllable of words, but it sounds like the young human is asking Demikos what he's doing. In the few seconds have while everything happens.
I would relay that there's people on the other side. It seems to be safe. There's other people, though. Not just Damiko, so there's someone else there. And then step forward.
And you would also, with a slight flash, be brought here, and the boy again would almost look startled for a second, and then almost, at this point he's seen Damikos come through, and then the bee come. He's expecting more to come through, but I mean, he's not expecting this gruff, old-looking human male with a beehive strapped to his back.
How dare you?
That's a bit, of a strange one, even for someone who, is existing underground.
Hello.
And he, hello. I assume you're with this one here, then?
Uh,
Are there many more of you to come?
yes, there are several of us. What is this place, if you don't mind my asking? Actually, maybe we should wait for my companions.
That might be better. Saves explaining more than once, I suppose. And yes, if everyone be following through, just drag
Yes.
quickly.
Sir.
And you would all find yourself in this room, surrounded by
Quite
4
disoriented.
statues, all looking inwards on the circle that you step out of. Those of you who can see this way would recognize this part of the bridge for what it is. And you can see, possibly by the lighting down this way, it seems to be corridor.
Alas.
And he would look at the group of you. Oh, sorry, I thought I moved you down, Nezu.
Thank you. Also, side question, more meta. Didn't we also have a twin with us? Didn't we have
She stayed at the
Okay.
dungeon to keep an eye out for her brother, and so I don't need to worry about playing DM NPCs.
Fair point.
And yes,
As you literally play
Figure.
2DM.
the figure in front of you would address you all and say, "Well, welcome, I suppose. We don't exactly get many visitors out there. What are you all doing out here?"
Where exactly are we visiting, might I ask?
Well, this is, I guess, as close as a home as any that I have. It's my master's, I guess you'd call it a workshop. We study the arcane arts out here, and we do it out here so we're not disturbed.
I see. Well, sorry for disturbing you, but we were upstairs running from some sort of aberrant creature, an abomination of some sort. It basically chased us in here, and we didn't think that, well, this place was occupied.
You brought trouble to our door? The master probably will not be too pleased to hear this, but he's also not so unkind as to just kick you out either. I think it's best if you come with me and speak with him.
Yes.
And we will leave the turn order for now, as he would leave to walk down the corridor, beckoning for you all to follow. And then I'm just going to leave these 2 here, because they don't need to
Sort
be.
of fall. Since, I mean, granted, the other way, I'd sort of look behind me back down the floaty bit, but since there's nowhere to go there.
Yeah. Just for ease, so I can move everything all together, I will just group and move you guys.
Just drag us around.
And he'd be
sounds good.
talking. He'd be talking as you walked as well, and he'd point to the north up this way and say, "As long as you are here, both me and especially my master would ask you to remain out of the room up to the end there. Most of these are storage rooms, but occasionally, if we ever have anything resembling guests, they can be re-outfitted."
Sorry, the rooms can be re-outfitted?
Sorry. He points. There are doors here, and as he's moving, you'd assume he'd point out other doors as we're walking as well. And as you come down here, those of you who can see it might see it. Those of you who can't will shortly, as to be quite honest, select all together there. Quite a grotesque creature passes you in the hallway. It almost looks like a man, or at least one cobbled together with the remains many others. It moans slightly as the young boy walks. By this point, the child, not that he's a full child, he would be in his early teens. At one point, his hood would slip back a little bit, revealing his face that you would see was a massive scar covering the left side. And he'd quickly pull the hood back over his head, hiding back into it.
What is this, like, thing to the north?
Again, he would point it out as another just generally multi-purpose room. He would point out that this door here leads to his own personal bedroom, the door of which would be shut currently.
Let me pause, yeah. So this thing that walked by, was it undead?
Yes, quite obviously undead.
Yes. But
it paid you no attention. Paid the 4 or 6 of you no attention, and kind of shuffled out of the way of the boy who would be leading you guys, and that's when it would have given the slight moan.
You and your master study the necromantic arts?
Not just. We create all kinds of things. It's just my master has a particular, I guess, talent for the necromantic art. Mine lay more in the opposites, the healing and restorations.
I see.
And he would continue leading you down the south this way. Ignore whoever saw his sad storage room. And as he leads you to the east, you'd see to the west a quick glimpse of what looks like a laboratory filled with what looks like chambers with creatures inside them floating in some form of liquid or substance. And he would lead you across this bridge here before knocking on the door in front of you and opening it up, which I will just do right now. Here we go.
Right now.
Yay for doors.
Hey, can you see in this pitch black darkness? I mean,
he's got a small, sorry, I forgot to say this, a small gem in his hand, very similar to the one that I can't remember if it was Damocos or Roland had, but the gem of light. But this one is very, very dim. It only casts maybe 20 feet of dim light. It's enough to get by and everything like that. And he would turn around and hold that up and say, well, in the darkness, not really, which is why I use this.
I see.
And you would see sitting in a chair, going over some notes on the table, a very tall, skinny drow who would look up and say, "Ah, visitors, what do we have the pleasure?"
Yes, sorry to intrude. I don't mean to offend, but we didn't think this place was occupied when we first started exploring.
It is fine. We do not often get visitors out here, as you could probably quite imagine, although that is much to our tastes, or mine at least.
I see. Again, sorry for intruding. As I was telling your apprentice?
He would give a curt nod at that.
We were chased here by some aberration of some sort through the jungle for what seems like miles. This was the first place that we saw that we could take refuge at.
Well, in circumstances like that, I could barely hold you accountable, now could I? Have you had any trouble? I mean, did any of the creations disturb you?
Possibly. And as you call them creations, I worry. We were attacked by some flying spiders and unfortunately had to put them down.
And the drow would kind of, stroking his chin, give a nod while looking at the human boy. And he'd say, yes, well, this one, he doesn't exactly make normal things now, does he? And he'd say it with a slight chuckle.
You created those?
The boy would give kind of a nod. You wouldn't see so much of a nod as more almost not really noticeable movement up and down of the robed head.
I hope you don't mind my asking or seeming too forward, but to what point?
Well, at first, quite honestly, it was just to save the life of one of the spiders. It had a wound, and I thought maybe the wings would have, I don't know, covered the wound or something like that. But something happened, and it kind of fused correctly, I guess. I tried a couple more times, and Master told me that it's just something to do with the art.
The art?
The drow would speak up at this point and say, oh, yes, magic. I get the feeling at least one of your group knows at least something of it. His is unique. He doesn't follow one of the traditional schools most wizards would follow. It's why I saved his life and took him on. It was a spark in my soul, I guess you could call it. And honestly, although my tastes are not the same as his, it's still of great interest.
I see.
And what is it you exactly study, mind I ask?
The necromantic arts, dear. Oh, was that Ellen or Nezus?
I don't know if you said it earlier, if you said he specifically studied necromancy or something like that.
The apprentice did as well at one point, but you
Okay.
may have still been coming through the circle or something at that, so it's not unfeasible. Your character wouldn't have heard it.
Yeah. Is necromancy usually involving like the creation of new stuff?
Necromancy is usually dealing with like raising undead things back to life. If it's creation,
But like, yeah,
it's
creation.
It's like the flesh golems. It's kind of lumping dead
That's a
things
good point,
together
yeah.
until
Fair
it's
enough.
living again. And that's why, he's kind of interested in it, is because this kid seems to have something very similar to necromancy, but he does it with still living things.
The spiders, do they breed, or did they simply you create all of those?
They didn't exactly at first, and then I guess I kind of made a male and a female one, and they were able to, and then from that point it was kind of, they just took over. They lived down in the hole down there, and quite often fly up and everything. I imagine they have some form of colonies or something.
Interesting. I've never heard of constructs of any sort ever reproducing and making viable offspring.
My guess would be that they were never dead, so they can still create life.
Maybe, but usually they wouldn't inherit, the traits of their parents. Magic like that usually doesn't flow down the bloodline.
the drow would speak up again and say, "You see why he interests even me?"
He's quite a talented young one. Wouldn't necessarily say a boy or girl, but if assuming I imagine I can extrapolate his age, even if I necessarily didn't see his face.
You'd guess age-wise, yeah, that'd be young teen. You wouldn't have been able to guess any kind of gender or anything like that. The scarring on the face was absolutely horrific, to the point of that side of the face was almost unrecognizable as human. And the robes they wear and everything are very heavy and thick and cover any kind of form of the body or anything.
Yeah.
Well, you say an aberration is chasing you. Will it be around for long, do you think?
I couldn't begin to guess. Maybe that's a question for our new friend? And I turn to Nezu.
I think it was his pet, so.
Yeah, his pet. Nezu would not have known anything about it. He literally, like, yeah. I don't know how much.
I ran.
Yeah, that was basically
Gotcha.
it. He was at a stage of some events were happening, and then this thing came along, and oh god, he was getting out of there.
I don't know. I confess I don't know much of the knowledge of the things like that. But even by certain standards that one would apply to an aberration, it looked wrong.
You'd kind of sit there pondering for a few seconds. Interesting. Go prepare some of the other chambers for our guests. They can remain the night until this thing moves on. And you'd watch as the boy would make his way out of the room, across the bridge, and off into the distance. You are, as I just said, free to remain until it leaves, obviously, if you wish. All that I ask is that you stay out of the lab to the northwest.
I appreciate that. It's not necessarily my place, especially since I'm taking you up on your hospitality and being such an inconvenience on this, but I feel as if I must speak my mind. This creation of life is dangerous and unnatural in ways that may start small but may escalate quite quickly. Your apprentice himself alluded to the fact that the things that he created are breeding and establishing colonies. That's potentially catastrophic to what's already here and around.
Everything's potentially catastrophic. Everything has the potential for chaos and for destruction. I mean, that's why we come out here, so we have as little impact on the rest of society as possible. Just because some of our ideals and methods don't line up.
Magic is magic, and, all can be used as a force of, I'm not say good or evil, but as a force, a powerful force, one to shape worlds and one to simply be amused by.
Exactly, see? This one understands.
I just want you to exercise I would like for you to instill with him some modicum of restraint and caution. And
Of course. Why do you think it's only small, trivial things like flying spiders and burrowing bats and everything like that? I wouldn't allow him, at least at this stage, to get his hands on anything that might cause, as you said, catastrophic destruction.
this dude evil.
With a 21, you get the feeling that on a cosmic scale of things, yeah, he's probably considered by some people to be evil, but at the same time, it's a very subjective thing, and he's not like burned down orphanage evil.
Mm-hmm.
With a 21, honestly, I'd be comfortable with saying he's lawful evil.
Okay.
Like, you would glean that much to be able to say, this guy, he does evil things, but not for evil reasons.
Right.
Or not subjectively evil reasons.
Right. Well, thank you at least for hearing me out. I understand it's not my place to tell you what to do, but I think it is my place to urge caution.
It's not my place to tell you what to do, but it's my place to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
I do not imagine they would be of very much use to kinds such as yourself, but the lab to the west down at the end past the chamber there, feel free to use it if you wish. Just, I would urge you not to open any of the what's the word for when something exists in a place? Occupied. Don't open any of the occupied stasis chambers.
Does that imply we can open the unoccupied ones?
Yes, by all means. If my count is correct, there should only be one containment one left. But they're quite, if I don't mind saying so myself, they're quite top of the range. If you're magically inclined, you'll see what I mean when you look at them. If you don't mind, though, I'm going to finish with my notes here, and I will get my apprentice to seek you out and bring you for dinner later. Until then, feel free to explore and make yourselves at home. Please try not to kill any more of the pets, and as I said, stay out, and I mean stay out of the Northwest Laboratory.
Alright guys, ready to head to the Northwest Laboratory?
And again, I don't mean to be rude, but introductions. I'm Riyadh.
I am Drith.
I am Nezu, and I bow my head. Thank you for hospitality.
And he
Would he like look at me? And,
Yeah,
like, sort of
he would kind of look expectantly at the rest of the party. I would
yeah,
assume
I
the
would
other two
give
would
him a
invite.
curt nod
would
and
do
be
it
like,
too.
thank you, what was his name? Trev?
Drith.
Trev? I would say thank you, Trev. I'm Alan.
He'd nod with a smile and kind of motion for you all towards the door before turning back to his notes.
And I guess I would, since he said feel free to check out the laboratory. It's sort of start walking off, but then also sort of see if anyone else is following me.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
look
I would certainly exit the room at least if, he's like, all right, let me get back to work here. I would be like, what you working on?
What you doing?
So the door's closed behind us? Door's closed?
Yes, they would close behind you, but I'm not going to redraw on the wall.
Gotcha. And do we notice anything in front of us or behind us besides, I guess, the doors?
No, there would be a door here for this. It looks like a room inside this room here. If you looked inside of it, you would find small cages that look like they might be used to keep animals. And then, yeah, there's the lab further on. Ignore the apprentice boy. He's in his room.
Hey,
Apprentice
the apprentice boy.
Riyadh would definitely
sure, I
be
guess I'll
sort
go.
of grumbling and mumbling to himself, displeased.
Go and make my way to the laboratory. Or check around, see what's going.
I'm just making you guys room up. I think that's enough. That should be enough. And yes, as you walked in, you would see what looks like a very well-equipped lab that covers almost every kind of intellectual pursuit and handcraft you could think of. Each of these little circle things seems to be some kind of large tube-like chamber with a desk with various, or at least this empty one has a desk with various pieces of paper, quills, vials, and, as I said, basically everything you could need to follow the intellectual pursuit. The other ones contain the same table, but instead of being covered in notes or paper and vials and everything like that, they have tubes and what looks like cords coming out of them, attaching to each of the creatures inside of the floating tubes.
Are there any lights sort of around the place, or is it like pitch black?
Each of the... Yeah, sorry, I haven't done lighting or anything like that. Each of the bottom floors of the areas is glowing lightly blue, casting a very blue hue across the room.
And I mean, when I look at the, the creatures in here, they just look like, more or less.
Very...
Well, you said they were top of the line, so do I, do I notice anything particular outside?
He was talking about the labs themselves. If you want to give me an Arcana check.
That's Wednesday.
Can I get an Arcana? Well, I hope I have advantage on this roll.
Well, you don't.
Let's see, but I noticed
someone can give it to you. But yeah, it looks like giant vials filled with dead bodies floating in water, as far as Arcana of 3 will tell you. Someone else wants to give another Arcana check?
Necromancy is not my specialty.
You said there's like notes strewn around and whatnot?
On this table in the center, yes, there would be various notes. On the empty lab, there's empty blank pieces of paper and quills.
I would sort of flip through the notes a little bit.
Give me a DC 17 check of your own personal choice and a DC 23 investigation check.
Let's... First, we get to...
Yeah, I told you those DCs because I'm very aware that they are very high DCs.
So... First, we're gonna do an insight. Like, are the notes what they say they are? Blah 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 blah. Is there some sort of evil plot afoot that I can glean from it, or anything like that? And then, of course, investigation.
Right. So you wanted to do it in that order?
Yes, and then the guidance in that order as well.
The insight, as far as you can tell, every note in this lab would be perfect, on point, 100% accurate information. The information, however, is basically unreadable to you. It's the writings of a wizard that's basically inane scrawlings to anyone who didn't write it themselves.
I can't make heads or tail of any of this, but the script is immaculate.
It's pretty advanced.
It's written in an honest way. Its format is just not lying to you. People would probably have also noticed at some point an imp that occasionally will fly from stasis chamber to stasis chamber.
Yeah.
Including the empty one?
Yes.
Does he like do anything with it, or does he just sort of look at it and be like, "Yep, it's empty"?
He's just doing impy things. He's just hanging out. His master hasn't given him any particular order, so he's doing what he wants to do.
If you talk to it, will
What
it
do you
talk
want
back?
If you can talk with it,
ignore
I will
us?
just check what it knows.
Probably not anything that I speak.
It speaks common and infernal.
Oh, fair enough.
I happen to speak one of those.
And you are?
I'm Trick.
Trick. And what do you do here, Trick?
I help Master with everything, with writing, with pictures, with holdings and stitchings.
I see. And can you explain sort of what's going on in these vats?
Permanent life is being infused into them. It takes quite a while. Usually masters have to recast their magics again and again, but this way they can just leave them to kind of create or charge themselves, I guess.
It's like a magical stew.
Yeah, sorta, but less edible and a lot more big chunks thrown in. A lot of stitching too.
And he'd kind of point out the long lines of stitches that are holding various parts of bodies together inside the tubes.
I mean, edible for some people, but probably not for most.
I see. And how did you come across all these materials to work with?
Master finds them. If I'm quite honest, I've only been around for about a week, maybe.
Yes. How many of these experiments would you say you do in a week?
Well, I helped with all of these ones, and the one that was in there, but he was let out like 2 days ago.
Oh, and where was that one taken to?
It walks around and does like orders and things.
Oh, I see. I think I saw it, in fact.
Possible. It was here recently and just left before you went to speak to Master.
Yes. So it's going well, I assume, the experiments?
I mean, I can't see any explosions of pus inside inside the chambers, and they're not coming to life by themselves, so everything's fine.
I see. Good. Good. Huh.
How often do you have, failures? Like, what's the failure of the general constructs? Well, general, like, things and all the vials.
like I said, I've only been here about a week. Master only summoned me about a week. I think it's pretty reliable at this point. I hear from some of the others that this master has been doing it for quite a while, so I assume he would have refined the process at least somewhat.
Well, one process can only be refined so much.
I don't know. I don't do the bookworks. I just do the writing and the stitching and the lifting and stuff.
You get the feeling being an imp is a very disposable job.
Yeah.
Well, you know only 2 languages.
I see. So what else is there around here?
What do you mean? Like, things to do, places to see? Because, I mean, honestly, down here, not much. There's the master's chambers, his apprentice's chambers. There's some other empty rooms, some storage rooms. There is one big room I've never been able to get into, but I don't know how to.
And a big room you can't get into?
Yeah, you might have seen when you came through the circle, there's like one bridge that isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Gonna nod.
Yeah,
Indeed. Does seem
it's
to be the
across
case.
there.
Have you ever seen the bridge be there?
No, it's not visible.
It's not visible? Does that mean there is a bridge there? You would, or
I mean, I assume so. Master quite often walks across there, and it's not like he flies or anything. Or at least not that I've noticed. He's a very good actor, if so.
yet you never tried.
I mean, I follow orders. He told me not to go over there.
Understandable.
You are aware that it's like physically impossible for me to not follow, right?
Indeed. But didn't know what exactly your orders were.
Kind of looking at you odd flight, this is common knowledge. How could you not know that the sky is green?
All right. I suppose I don't have anything else. What is the young one? Where does he do his experiments? Here as well, or does he have his own lab?
He sometimes uses these chambers too, but usually he just does it in one of the spare rooms. He doesn't need equipment like Master does. He kind of just pushes things together. It's really kind of unsettling.
Interesting. To make a
He
devil thinks it's
after
unsettling.
Yeah, he says after talking about explosions of pus and having to stitch together like 6-foot long wounds and stuff like that, he's like, yeah, no, it's really weird how he does it. But
thank you for answering my questions. Unless anybody has anything else, I'll let you get back to work.
Just go back to studying things around the room.
And yeah, he would just continue doing his MP things.
It's been along.
Yes. So we could either leave it there because it's 4, and I know that this is late for you guys.
Jeez, I guess it is almost 12.
Yeah, it's nearly midnight for you guys. So we can call it there, and then we can pick it up with leaving the lab next week, and hopefully
Unless we live down here. Who knows? Maybe this will be our start campaign.
We join him.
We can ask for an apprenticeship. Yeah, we can join him. You can just start like
Make some horrible creations,
yeah.
Oh,
like
We can,
burrowing
like, have-
bats.
We can have like competitions to see who can create like the coolest like creatures.
oh
Like,
goodness.
can we top like the spider flying tarantulas?
So we saw 2 of the horrors, but
Did we?
Can't wait till you yeah,
Oh.
the flying spiders and the aberrant froghemoth.
Oh.
With Froghemoth?
The thing that was
Yeah, it's-
chasing us.
Yeah,
I'm sad you didn't call it. I had a name for it.
well, yeah, because it was just going to be like a T-Rex or the special version of the T-Rex for the Omu encounters.
Mhm.
But then I was like, no, it only appears in Omu, and honestly, I reckon they can take a normal T-Rex. So I know what I'll do. I'll homebrew a terrifying froghemoth.
Yeah, they're
Slimosaurus.
pretty nasty.
Like,
Good.
No, you continue talking. I'm just gonna check a couple of its abilities and stuff. This is why I was saying, like,
We could have. So we had the option to find.
you had the option, but tell me if you wanted to once I throw these at you.
You always have the option.
So these are just all the aberrant features that I gave it. And that was with, like, I think I set it at 280 to
Horrifying
300 HP.
camp.
Sounds about right.
We could have taken them.
Ugh.
I mean, Grimm's got triple Bs.
Their challenge rating is something like, I don't know, 12 to 17, which I'll admit is a wide margin, but
And yet that
Creeping dark.
more of horror would have been either 2 or 3 possible grapples a turn.
yeah, it's just gonna swallow us and eat us.
Two attacks, yeah, so 2. And it can make it an attack with its tongue or bite.
Interesting.
So up to 3 people grabbed and grappled.
Maybe we couldn't have taken it.
Oh, but yeah, it was a good one. I liked it.
Indeed.
It was
I mean, I guess it can only be good for me considering I didn't have any other previous experience.
right.
So you know what? I can compensate. This is the best session I've ever played in this campaign.
High praise indeed. But yeah.
But we will.
Yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
It was
Like run
fun.
down the dark stairs.
Yeah, we didn't die.
No one tripped us out.
Nothing was trapped.
We killed like a whole encounter with a single fireball.
You also broke up an entire encounter with a single fireball.
But shame on him for actually using a fireball. That was a not serious snowballs. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the session there. I mean, pretty obviously, that's what we've been talking about for the last 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you've been watching, and if you haven't been watching, you should have been watching. If you were watching, you should also like and subscribe. Oh,
Like, comment, subscribe, leave your favorite.
That should just get your
hot
fucking
dog
account
topping.
deleted right there.
Please put your favorite hot dog toppings in the description below, or in the comments below.
Comment your favorite part.
Let's open up a poll.
That could be like your thing, Graham.
What?
You could be like, all right, today's comment conversation is favorite flavor of Cheerios.
I mean, I think people do that, and I think I hate it when I see somebody do it.
What's your favorite flavor of Fruit Loop?
Like, when you get a bowl of Fruit Loops, what color do you like the most out of them?
Anyways, hope you all have a great day and peace out. Bye bye. Nobody else said bye-bye.
Yes,
I did.
we did.
Went,
We
"Hurrah."
did this week.
Fair enough.
We all said it this week.
All right. All right.
But no, that was a good session. Hope you two new ones